We all use them. Browser password managers are the default because they're integrated and make life easy. But that ease creates a massive target. InfoStealer malware is programmed to hunt your browser's password database. And unlike dedicated managers, most browser solutions lack a zero-knowledge architecture, a significant distinction. This means the specific security designs in Safari and Edge are fundamental to protecting your digital life. We're dissecting their encryption, unique features, and hidden risks to find out which browser truly does more. The first line of defense is encryption, but both Safari and Edge piggyback on the security of your operating system. Edge uses AES encryption for your password file locally. The key is protected by your OS, DPAPI on Windows, or Keychain on macOS. But this creates a potential weakness. If an attacker accesses your user profile, they can trick the OS into decrypting passwords for them. Safari uses iCloud Keychain, extending this idea across your Apple devices with end-to-end encryption. Not even Apple can read your sync data. So it's a trade-off. Edge focuses on strong local encryption. Safari prioritizes secure syncing across its ecosystem. But encryption at rest is only half the battle. What happens when the browser actually autofills your password into a web page? This is where their philosophies really diverge. Both add extra layers right at the moment of autofill, but Edge's method is about active monitoring. First, Edge lets you require your device password or biometrics before any password can be autofilled. This stops quick theft. Second, its password monitor constantly checks the dark web. It alerts you if your saved credentials appear in a data breach. Third, Edge's enhanced security mode automatically hardens the browser on unfamiliar sites, stopping new attacks cold. Safari's philosophy is different. Make the most secure method the most convenient by integrating Face ID and Touch ID as the default key. Safari also has a built-in authenticator for 2FA codes, so which is better? Edge's explicit checks or Safari's built-in biometric security? But what if the most secure password is no password at all? This is where Apple is betting the future with passkeys. A passkey is a cryptographic key pair. One key is on your device, the other on the site. You approve logins with Face ID and no secret is ever sent. This makes you resistant to phishing and data breaches. An attacker can't steal a password that doesn't exist or trick you into entering it. While Safari looks to the future, Edge hardens the present with a feature no other browser has: native hardware isolation. Edge runs browser processes in a virtualized container. If malware infects the browser, it can access memory where credentials are handled. But despite these features, both share a fundamental flaw. What is the one thing they both depend on entirely? The browser itself. Your whole password vault is tied to your Apple or Microsoft account. If that one account is compromised, everything is. Because the password manager is part of the browser, malicious extensions are a direct threat, built to read autofill data. Remember how both rely on oxygen monosulfide level encryption? That tight integration means a browser flaw could potentially bypass those protections. Even autofill is risky through clickjacking, where invisible forms over legitimate buttons trick you into autofilling your credentials. So the biggest risk they both share is their greatest strength: deep integration. The thing that provides convenience also makes them a target. Safari's strategy with passkeys, mentioned earlier, tries to solve this by removing the valuable data, the password, from the equation. Edge's strategy is the opposite. It accepts the password exists and is weak, so it uses hardware isolation to build a fortified wall around it. This isn't just a feature list, it's a clash of security philosophies. Do you remove the vulnerability or fortify it against attack? In the end, neither is definitively better. They are just fundamentally different. Understanding this is key to making an informed choice. Choose Edge if you're a Windows user who values proactive defense. Its dark web monitoring and hardware isolation provide a strong defense in depth. Choose Safari if you're in the Apple ecosystem. Its biometric integration and forward-thinking passkey technology aim to make passwords obsolete. Whichever you choose, don't use the defaults. Enable stronger authentication and understand the trade-offs. Your security is worth more than convenience.